Can do this U-turn and back, but the wind is coming slightly from the left-hand side to the right, and it's all about protecting your sprinter. And if you can make it hard for all the other teams, so be it. And you can just see the waves crashing off the sea as the wind does come in. A bit more pace at the front of the peloton as Omega Pharma-Quickstep start to take control of this race again. You can just see it slightly bends round. We've got a U-turn and then we come all the way back towards this finishing line, and it's the team from Belgium, Omega Pharma-Quickstep, in the predominantly black outfits that are starting to lead the front of this race. But on the right hand side, again on the black but predominantly white of the black and white kit towards the front. So it's all black and white at the front of this peloton.
For those of you watching in colour, everyone's in black and white, yeah.
Yeah, just watching black and white for Marcel Kittel and Mark Cavendish. Remember, Mark Cavendish is in the British champs jersey, and I think for me the Marcel Kittel is quite easy to pick out. He's a big strapping lad. But you can just see that the pace is up now with 4.1 kilometres to go. So the peloton now starting to string out.
Well, they're really starting to charge, and they're all hugging the left-hand side of the road at the moment. That'll be the right-hand side of the road when they work their way around this hairpin and make their way back up towards the finish line. And finding a little bit of shelter inside a rider on the right is going to be very, very difficult and indeed dangerous indeed. At worst, you're going to get caught. At best, you might find it yourself in the gutter. And plenty of other teams try to get involved too. Katusha we see moving up.
Yeah, this is what's happening now. You start to see riders being tailed off. The wind is coming slightly from the right hand side, and that's why Omega Pharma-Quickstep are trying to hug the left hand side. They don't want to give any benefit to any of the other teams. And you can see some of the riders coming up on the right hand side of the peloton, but they are in the wind and expending energy as we come up to this U-turn. So as we go around this U-turn, there is just over 3 kilometres to go to the finish with a few roundabouts, and the pace will just go up and up and up, over 50 kilometres an hour.
So now everyone who's over on the left-hand side of the road tries to switch over to the right-hand side of the road. We saw Omega Pharma-Quickstep having been hard in on the left, just edging out towards the middle of the road as they made their way towards that hairpin, and Giant Shimano on their wheels looking to try and follow them through. Now Giant find themselves on the left. That's not the ideal situation. If they've got the legs, if they've got the strength, maybe they can think about setting things up, and they look like they could move over the top of Omega Pharma-Quickstep.
Cavendish is actually on Kittel's wheel. You can just see the British Championship jersey just sitting down, and he's just moved over onto the right hand side. The wind is coming from the left. Mark Cavendish is now behind 3 of his teammates, and that U-turn just kind of sent disarray into this front of this peloton, and now the riders will have to look around, get organised, as we see Pozzato up there for Lampre. Some of the Movistar riders moving up on the windy side and the left hand side, as we see some more damage as riders could spat out the back of this peloton.
So riders disappearing in ones and twos, just giving you an indication of how hard and fast it is on the front at the moment. Inside 2.5 kilometres to go for the riders at the end of this second stage of Dubai Tour, and they're desperately jockeying for position to try and get themselves organised. Omega Pharma-Quickstep and Giant Shimano, the most prominent jerseys at the front. Saxo-Tinkoff, Saxo I should say, are now making their way towards the front. Perhaps for Matteo Tossato. Are they just trying to stay out of trouble? Another man trying to stay out of trouble, of course, is Taylor Finney, who'll be relieved to be well inside 3 kilometres now. In fact, we're inside 2 kilometres to go as riders moving up on the left-hand side for Omega Pharma-Quickstep. Looks like Julian Vermont trying to get himself back into a position to help the team.
Yeah, he was a bit further back. Now he comes to the front, but just behind him you've got Pataki, Renshaw. Mark Cavendish has just been pushed out the wheel by one of the riders from Cannondale, the rider in the lime green. So the wind coming just again slightly from the left hand side. A lot of these riders doing their turn at the front and pulling off. The strength of the team of Omega Pharma-Quickstep are really looking at Mark Cavendish. Just behind Mark Cavendish you've got Peter Sagan of Cannondale, but again nobody taking real control of this race. 1 kilometre to go, everything to play for in this first road stage of the Dubai Tour.
So the spray crashes up against the sea wall as the riders are inside the final kilometre, and it's been a textbook effort so far from Omega Pharma-Quickstep. but they've got Giant Shimano also in perfect position, and there's little to choose between them. Pipo Pizzato is doing a superb job for Lampre and trying to set things up. So too is Davide Cimolai, and it's impressive to see Lampre have managed to make their way up there. They've got Roberto Ferrari, of course, who's an excellent sprinter. Garmin Sharp are trying to get something organised courtesy of Neverdauskas.
Cancellara goes on the left hand side. They've got Nizzolo sitting third place, and also up towards the front you've got Tyler Farrar, but a lot bumping and bashing here towards the finishing line. This is going to be a hectic sprint here. Kittel sitting in the perfect place as he goes down the middle.
Oh, perfect spot for Marcel Kittel in the middle, in the black and white jersey on the left-hand side. Is also going for it in a big way. Cavendish looks like he's been boxed out. He's not going to get involved here. Who can beat Marcel Kittel? He's got the advantage, heading for the line. There's nothing going to stop the German. He gets one hand in the air. It all seems so easy for Marcel Kittel. So disappointing for Mark Cavendish. He was well boxed out there. Peter Sagan gets up for, I think, an excellent second place, and was that Giacomo Nizzolo also involved in the podium positions, but no doubt about the winner. It's Marcel Kittel who